North Queensland having had 3 games at home at Stockland Stadium in Townsville, against the Adelaide Rams, then against the Perth Reds, and last week against the Penrith Panthers, and they've had just the 1 win. That was their very first game. That was against Adelaide, where in fact they were down at half-time in that game by 16-4 and came back to win. But they've at least had 1 win. Steve Mortimer, you would expect that the Hunter Mariners would have had a win on the board by now, but that's not the case, albeit they've come very close with only a couple of points the difference on each of their 3 games, but as yet they haven't been able to finish in front.
Well, they haven't. That's pretty well frustrating Graham Murray at the moment, John, and the Mariners, particularly their first game, they were leading against Canterbury Bankstown, my old side, with only 2 minutes to go, and a silly error there, and Canterbury scored a try through Rod Silver. So the Mariners, they've played pretty good football, but the last 3 games they've played, they haven't come up with a victory. They desperately want one in front of their home crowd tonight, and I'm sure Graham Murray.
The North Queensland dressing room as the Cowboys make their way out from the dressing room and out onto Stockland Stadium, being led out by their test hooker, Steve Walters. And tonight, I'm sure that their coach, Tim Sheens, is wanting particularly their experienced players to stand up and be counted. He's certainly been critical of the form of some of his big-name players. Well, tonight's the night where they can really show their coach, Tim Sheens, that they were worthy of being taken up to Townsville to be part of the Cowboys. Couple of changes, in fact, in the North Queensland side. Most notable, I suppose, the 5/8 position where Duneman has been dropped, with Doyle coming in to take his place, and of course Bert TABUAI coming into the forwards, and Tyran Smith played in reserve grade. The North Queensland sides, with one of the key players in that side being their experienced fullback Scott Mahon, 27 years of age, but 101 games. Great game, Scott Mahon, and a very valuable player and a dynamic player at his best.
Looking forward to Scott Mahon getting more involved tonight, John. He is so much more dynamic, and the Cowboys are so much more threatening in their attack when he comes into that back line. I'm sure Tim Sheens will be hoping that he gets the opportunity to really involve himself tonight.
Scotty Mahon, of course, formerly from Parramatta, but now in North Queensland under the coaching of Tim Sheens. The Mariners just taking their time about leaving their dressing room, getting some last-minute instructions from their coach, Graham Murray. Sure, Graham Murray, who won the Coach of the Year a few years ago when he was down at Illawarra, desperately wants his side to register their first win for the evening, and Noel Goldthorpe brings out the Hunter Mariners onto Breakers Stadium.
Just looking at the Mariners coming out, John, I'm sure that Graham Murray is happy with the decision. They will be kicking off, so they'll get the ball right down the Cowboys' end, and it's up to Tim Sheens and their Cowboys to control that ball for their 6 plays and see if they get the ball right down the other end into Mariners territory.
John CARLAW coming into the centres, and of course Richard SWAIN in at hooker, and the players that have dropped out were Brad Godden and Robbie McCormack, both of them of course representative players. Brad Godden having represented Australia a couple of seasons ago, but here's a player who really is playing well. Robbie Ross, last year of course, when the Mariners weren't able to play in Super League, he went up and linked up with the Brisbane Broncos, and I know Brisbane coach Wayne Bennett desperately wanted to keep him, but he's come back to fulfil his commitments with the Hunter Mariners, and a very, very good player he is.
Well, we had a profile on his counterpart Mahon before, but Robbie Ross, there's one thing that Robbie Ross does, John McCoy, that's he really does involve himself anywhere in the field. He talks well to his players, and you'll see that he will be certainly penetrating in between his 5'8" and his inside centre. Watch for that.
So the fullbacks, key players tonight, Robbie Ross for the Hunter Mariners and Scott Mahon from North Queensland. The referee for tonight is Brian Grant.
Just wait for the whistle.
The breeze is an easterly breeze and a strong one. It's blowing virtually straight across the ground, so it's coming across towards our television camera position as Noel Goldthorpe takes the kick-off, and he'll put it deep downfield where Scott Mahon in fact will take it, and so North Queensland will bring it up from their own line. Ball played by Dion Cope. This is John Doyle. Doyle getting his jersey ripped from him. John Doyle into first grade tonight, replacing Andrew Duneman. What a welcome. Starts off by being disrobed early on in the game. So now North Queensland bring it out to their own 30. John Lomax being tackled. Played back and out of dummy half goes Steve Walters. Looked to try and unload. Wisely held on to it.
No one played at it.
Last tackle coming up as it goes back for the kick Kick downfield by Jason Ferris. He'll put it down to Robbie Ross. And immediately the Mariners fullback starts to run it back and is tackled. That's 10 short of halfway. So the first chance for the Mariners to attack as the ball is played by John CARLAW. This is Iro. Iro takes it just over the halfway mark. 10 metres inside North Queensland half.
Stand on it, wait for it. 3 tackles.
Just trying to work it up the middle of the ruck.
Stand up again, stand up.
Haven't unloaded as yet as Neil PICCINELLI plays the ball back. Now they'll take it wide. Noel GOLDTHORPE trying to run it away across field. It was well taken to ground by Peter Jones. The big forward read that well and was able to knock over the halfback. Ball into the air. The breeze just holding on to it. Now it's bouncing and will be picked up by North Queensland just outside their own 20.
We're seeing both sides playing pretty safe football at the moment, John. One off the ruck or two off the ruck, and getting the ball up the other end and waiting for the other side to make that troublesome mistake.
So Jason Ferris looking for his runners. That runner is Owen Cunningham. Cunningham put to ground by Scott Hill. They're still 10 inside their own half. Ian Roberts trying to turn a pass back on the inside. Called on to play the ball. This is Dion Cope. Cope making a gain of 10 metres. 5 tackles gone now for North Queensland. They're on the last as it goes back for the kick once more.
Thank you.
Oh, what a clash as that ball comes to ground. It was touched by North Queensland. Players are okay, but North Queensland have got the ball back with the tackle count restarting, and this is John LOMAX. LOMAX held on to in the tackle of Iro. He's just outside the 20. Played in the cross field from Doyle, who unloads his pass. North Queensland starting to get towards the Hunter Mariners line, only 12 metres out. Now spun across field from Ferris, unloads his pass away through Jones, who is able to give his pass wide. This should be the first try for North Queensland. They'll go in and score the first try. Luke Phillips is able to get the ball down and score the try. So a good start for the visitors, North Queensland. Luke Phillips scoring the try for North Queensland to take them away to a lead of 4 points to 0.
We'll put that try back down to the North Queensland Cowboys. We're seeing him moving the ball from the right to the left here. Great passing there, but this all comes from the kick that was put up high enough. They competed for it, and they got 6 tackles again. And here they are shifting it right out to the wide. There's Phillips there, steps inside his man, and improves his position for, well, he's going to kick the ball too, kick the goals, John.
Yes, when you're the goal kicker, you always try and improve the position, Steve Mortimer, don't you?
There it is, some good passing there again. Running a block there, Stevie Walters, straight out to Luke Phillips coming in, and you'll see him trying to improve his position to give himself every opportunity to make it from 4 into 6 points.
Yes, he was able to get around Keith Beauchamp and then was able to beat the despairing covering tackle of Scott Hill. So Luke Phillips attempting to convert his own try and is successful. And so North Queensland get away to a very early lead of 6 points to 0 over the Hunter Mariners. I suppose, Steve Mortimer, it has to be said with this breeze, this stiff breeze coming across the field from the east, when you do put the ball high into the air, there's every chance that the breeze is going to affect it. It's going to hold the ball up. It's going to allow your chasers to get up and get underneath it.
It will certainly hold it up, John, there, because the breeze is coming across the field to us, but also it's favouring the Hunter Mariners at the moment.
So from the restart, the Mariners in possession. Just near halfway where the ball is being played. This is MADDISON. Takes it inside North Queensland's half. Richard SWAIN into the hooking role, replacing Robbie McCormack. Gives it away to GOLDTHORPE and then to Troy Stone. Looking to get his pass away. The tackle, a ball and all tackle made by Bert TABUAI. GOLDTHORPE throwing his pass, which is dropped by Nick ZISTI.
Well, I don't know why Nick ZISTI. I don't know why Nick ZISTI dropped that ball straight to him there. GOLDTHORPE drawing 2 men, giving a great ball to ZISTI. He can't afford to do mistakes like that. Graham Murray won't be happy.
Paul Bowman coming in with the tackle, but you're right, Steve Mortimer. It was a good pass to Nick ZISTI. Seemed to have control of it, and really no reason why that ball should have been put to ground.
Stand up, stand up.
So the chance once more for North Queensland to attack.
2, roll away, no penalty.
Just 40 metres out from their own line. This is Ian Roberts.
3, roll away again, no hands in there. Check
Held on to in the tackle of MADDISON. Now back to Lomax. Good hit by Paul Marquette. Marquette just setting himself to take Lomax and put him to ground very well. Doyle giving his pass away to TABUAI, and they swarm on him, but he does well to TABUAI to get it back to John Doyle. Doyle gets to 38 metres out from the 100 line, and the last tackle coming up for the Cowboys. Jason FERRIS getting his clearing kick away, putting it in behind Keith Beauchamp. Beauchamp confronted by the chasers and held on to 12 metres out from his own line by Owen Cunningham and Luke Phillips.
1, check, check, 1 tackle.
So the ball being played back by Nick ZISTI, held on to it this time. He had to, only a few metres out from his own line. Get just outside their red zone now, the Mariners.
I'm interested, John, to see how young Richard SWAIN is going to dart from dummy half. Robbie McCall was pulled over the coals by not doing enough around the dummy half area. I'm sure Graham Murray will be looking for SWAIN to be creative round that edge of the ruck.
Hard run by Troy Stone, but an equally hard hit by Ian Roberts. Now a penalty goes the way of the Mariners. Brian Grant catching the North Queensland side offside. A good kick for touch, with the Greens getting behind that kick, and it takes it into touch just 30 metres out from the North Queensland line. Here's MADDISON. First hit up by MADDISON, gets to almost the 20. Troy Stone trying to stand in the tackle, can't get his pass away. Robbie Ross runs in to be the dummy half for the Mariners. Paul Marquette, 15 metres out from the line. Given by SWAIN. Hill with the cutout pass to Iro, tries to turn it back on the inside. Lost though once more by the Mariners, put to ground. And so a scrum feed coming up for North Queensland, and gee, a couple of handling errors in vital positions are really costing the Mariners at the moment.
Well, we see them moving it back inside there, forcing the ball. This has been a problem with the Mariners in the first 9 minutes of play. They had an opportunity, 6 tackles, to get up there towards the line. They switched it back, but they're forcing the ball and coming up with the errors. Not good enough for Graham Murray, I'm sure.
Mark SHIPWAY on the first tackle, 15 metres out from his own line, and this is Dion Cope. Cope takes it outside his own red zone. Big Peter Jones runs into the tackle of Paul Marquette.
Stand up, stand up.
Roberts to play it.
Don't go, Troy. That's it, go now.
Now to Lomax. Lomax 10 short of halfway.
5 tackles.
5 tackles gone. Here's the last coming up. Jason FERRIS with the ball in hand. FERRIS, former Canberra Raider, driving it downfield. It rolls into the in-goal area. Robbie Ross gets back to it, runs it out before he's tackled by Owen Cunningham.
That was a pretty good set of 6 there, John, by the North Queensland Cowboys. Just no frill stuff, taking the ball up over the vantage line and then getting FERRIS to get it right down the other end, waiting for Adelaide to see, the Hunter Mariners will get it right to see they come up with a mistake. The Mariners, on the other hand, they've got to get the ball up the other end with creative running around the dummy half area.
So the Mariners with Neil PICCINELLI giving it away to GOLDTHORPE and then to Iro. Iro able to get his pass away to ZISTI, but he's tackled 10 on his own side of halfway. Troy Stone. That's the halfway mark in your picture. Now from GOLDTHORPE, given away to Scott Hill on the last. Hill kicks, but against the breeze, this ball holds up, sits up for Scott Mahon. Mahon tries to break the first line of defence, but it was a chase that came down in the one line, and Beauchamp made the tackle on him. Dion Cope just scampering away a couple of metres onto the blind side. Owen Cunningham, one of the leading contenders for the Queensland side in this year's Super League Tri-Series. Owen Cunningham And over the touchline goes Peter Jones, appealing to the referee Brian Grant that in fact he was held in the field of play and then dragged across the line. Brian Grant doesn't agree.
Well, that's pretty good defence by the Hunter Mariners there. They've got the ball, the Queensland Cowboys over the line there. Now this is going to give Goldthorpe the opportunity for attack. They've got 7 plays, 6 tackles. Let's see what they can do from here.
Roll it, Noel.
That was a correct ruling by Brian Grant. The tackle hadn't been completed. He went across the line in the process of being tackled. So the Mariners in possession, trailing by 6 points, and right on halfway is where the ball is played by ZISTI, and Iro elects to run down the blind side. Iro to play it 10 inside North Queensland's half. Young Richard SWAIN into the hooking role tonight and into the dummy half position, and one of the reasons Graham Murray wants him there is because he just gives a little bit of added pace that perhaps Robbie McCormack at this stage of his career is lacking. Scott Hill doing well to get it back to Goldthorpe. Referee rules that the ball went backwards, no knock on. Goldthorpe once more, the playmaker, giving it wide to ZISTI, who tries to get his pass away to Gavin Thompson, but once more that last pass just going to ground, this time going over the touchline. Poor old Graham Murray must be ripping his hair out at the moment. Graham Murray, just some of the errors that are being made by his side.
Well, nothing's going right for the Mariners at the moment. That was the 6th tackle. They would have had the opportunity to put the ball up high and put the Cowboys under pressure, but no, it's back to the Cowboys.
And you have to say, Steve Mortimer, some of the passes that have gone to ground, there's been nothing wrong with the pass. They're passes that should be taken.
I don't know whether it's nerves or whatever. These guys have played in bigger crowds before, so you wouldn't think it'd be that, John.
Stand up, stay square.
This is John Doyle, the rookie 5'8", playing the ball. North Queensland, 12 inside their own territory.
Stand up. 3.
Steve Walters looking for the runner. That was Ian Roberts. Shows it.
4 tackles. Stand up again.
Takes the tackle of Paul Marquette.
Discipline. 4 gone.
Steve Walters once more with one of those customary darts out of dummy half. Unloads to Lomax, who gives it away to Doyle, who switches it inside to Bert TABUAI. Gives it back over the top. It was touched by the Mariners. The referee is going to rule a knock on. Knock on both ways, says referee Brian Grant.
And I want the loose head to go to Cowboys.
Gavin Thompson not having a happy game here. We see the Cowboys there passing the ball. Thompson could have caught that ball and given it back to the Mariners there.
Back now.
As it turns out, the Cowboys have got the feed and they've got the chance to make another attack.
And so they win it, and they're 10 inside the Hunter Mariners territory. John Doyle put the ground on tackle number 1. Out of dummy half goes Dion Cope. Good run, some sloppy marker defence by the Mariners, letting him gain some 15 metres and now get a roll on as it goes to Walters and inside to Lomax, who unloads his pass.
3 away. Nil.
Ball to be played back by Jones. Now away to Ferris. It's in the hands of John Doyle to Ferris, doubling around him, who's able to give it wide to BOWMAN. BOWMAN trying to sneak away himself, will be held onto in the tackle of Robbie Ross. He'll play the ball quickly to Mark SHIPWAY. SHIPWAY going from dummy half. He's only 1 metre out from the line. The last is coming up for North Queensland, away to Ferris, who gives it on to Peter Jones. Intercepted though by Keith Beauchamp, and he'll start to run and will be put to ground just outside his own 20-metre mark, and a let off as far as the Mariners were concerned, because that looked as though North Queensland were in for sure and for certain for try number 2.
Well, the Mariners let off the mark there. Now they've got a little bit of fortune. Let's see if they can be as composed in attack as what the Cowboys are. They've made 40 yards in 3 plays, so they've got to get it back up there and put the ball high enough so they can compete.
Tony Iro puts the ball on the ground. Noel Goldthorpe can't scoop it up. Going back forward is Troy Stone, but they've lost some 10 metres. They're back on their own side of halfway.
5 metres. 10 metres.
Played back by Stone to ZISTI and then to Maddison.
4 tackles. Check.
Tim Maddison just over the halfway mark.
4 tackles.
PICCINELLI getting his pass away. Robbie Ross looking for support, back on the inside and finding it in Noel Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe to play the ball just 10 metres out from the line. Ball being lost though once more by the Hunter Mariners, put to ground by Scott Hill. North Queensland come up with possession.
Well, I can't believe that. Great play there by the Mariners. Noel Goldthorpe got up to play the ball quickly. They had numbers on the left and they chose to run to the left there and lost the ball. Again, now the Cowboys come up with it, and they seem to be much more focused in their onslaught with their 6 tackles. The forwards are working well together. Unlike the Hunter Mariners, they aren't working well at all.
So once more, it's North Queensland in possession, inside their own half. TABUAI put to ground, 30 metres out from his own line.
That's it now, going now. Thanks for helping. Stand up.
Almost up to the halfway mark, where the ball is played by BOWMAN. This is Doyle. Wasn't quite sure what to do, just inexperienced by Doyle. Thought about passing, then they said no kick, and he's put up a very high kick. Dropping back four at the Mariners, in fact, held on to just in the field of play. Scott Hill getting to it. He's tackled immediately by Luke Phillips, but he'll play the ball. In fact, he has to play it slowly because his teammates took quite some time to get back there to help him. So they're still only 10 metres out from their own line.
Stand up
John
again.
CARLAW to play it, and a penalty.
Just lie there, just please roll away from him. Don't just lie there.
Brian Grant giving the penalty. North Queensland not clearing the tackle player.
Seen down in the tackle there, holding the man down, Brian Grant right there on the spot. Now this gives the Mariners a chance, John, to take a deep breath, to get composed again. They've got the ball round just before halfway. Let's see them do 7 plays towards the post and get it up.
I'm sure what Graham Murray, the coach of the Mariners, would want would just be a good set of 6 tackles here. Just get some composure, hold on to those passes. They're inside North Queensland territory by a couple of metres. MADDISON runs it straight at Ian Roberts. Tries to push over the top of Roberts, gains a few more metres before he eventually is held. GOLDTHORPE away to PICCINELLI. Neil PICCINELLI. Caught in the tackle of Jason Deeth, who's just come off the bench for North Queensland. Now from Iro, switched on the inside to Hill. Hill able to give his pass away to Richard SWAIN. Gets to the 20-metre mark of North Queensland, but this is the last coming up. GOLDTHORPE calls for it on the blind side, puts in the little grubber kick. Scott Mahon is back to clear it, and Mahon is immediately put to ground 5 metres out from his own line.
A pretty poor option there by Noel GOLDTHORPE. He should have put the ball up nice and high so that his Mariners could compete for the ball. At least there a 50% chance of getting it back, but it went straight to Mahon, and the Cowboys off their own line now and making some great yardage.
So North Queensland bringing it to 30 metres out from their own line. Roberts to play the ball. Deeth in a dummy half, unloads to John LOMAX. LOMAX, who made a lot of errors last week in the game against Penrith up in Townsville. I'm sure that his coaches had to talk to him tonight, and he's very conscious of his handling himself, as once more North Queensland start to make a bust. This is Dion Cope, who gives his pass away wide to Phillips, cutting back infield only a couple of metres from scoring try number 2, and a penalty. Penalty goes to North Queensland.
Relax there.
Now, referee Brian Grant could well put someone in the sin bin here for a professional foul.
That one up there, got to roll. You've got to roll. All of you. Here's the mark here. Jason, what are you doing?
Well, he's not going to put anybody in the sin bin, but you would think he may have thought about it, given that they were so close to scoring. Here it is again. They don't release Luke Phillips, and that for mine is a professional foul, Steve Mortimer.
Well, it certainly looks like it. The Hunter Mariners are very lucky there that someone hasn't gone in the sin bin. What you're going to see now, Tim seems to have to be pretty happy with the way that they've started this game. 20 minutes into the first half there. Luke Phillips will have an opportunity now to increase the lead, and he'd have to be much happier than what Graham Murray is at the moment, because the Mariners have been, quite frankly, a disappointment at this stage, John.
Yes, they have. Their handling has let them down badly, as Luke Phillips will attempt this penalty goal. And I just think that the Mariners may well be lucky to still have 13 players on the field. I mean, had that foul not been given by the Mariners, I don't think there's much doubt that North Queensland could have scored, because the Mariners defenders weren't back in their line, and it was what's always termed a professional foul. But when it happened only a couple of metres from the line, I'm surprised that Brian Grant didn't sin bin someone for it. However, he's given the penalty to North Queensland, and the chance for Luke Phillips to take the Cowboys to what would be a handy 8-point lead midway through the first half. Strikes it, but waved away, just wide by Luke Phillips. So it'll come back out to the 20 for the dropout restart.
We're just looking at 20 minutes into this game, John, and already the Mariners have 4 handling errors and 5 missed tackles. With those sort of stats, it's pretty hard to win a game.
When you're ready, Noel, drop it out from the penalty.
Yes, they just have to do the basics, the Mariners. as the dropout from the 20 goes down to Scott Mahon. Mahon turns, brings it back and is tackled. 8 on his own side of halfway, Scott Mahon. Jason Deeth having a scamper away from dummy half. Roberts able to give his pass away to Lomax. Played to Doyle, then on to TABUAI, running it up the short side.
No hands in there, no hands.
This is Jason Ferris. Showing it, looking for a runner.
Last tackle, no penalty on 5.
Kyle Warren it is, who's just come off the bench. Now back to Ferris, and on the last, once more, Jason Ferris kicks. This ball rolling towards touch. Robbie Ross didn't know whether to let it go, and then realised that he had to pick it up for a couple of reasons. The chasers were coming thick and fast, and secondly, of course, the zero tackle operates, so that was the zero tackle. Here's tackle number 1 in this set for the Mariners.
It was a great kick by Ferris. He kept the ball in play, and the big men from Mariners had to go right back there and start all over again, tiring the Mariners.
Gavin Thompson, the Mariners winger, plays the ball. They're 30 metres out from their own line. Anthony Brann, just off the reserves bench for the Mariners. From PICCINELLI away to Wairo, does well to unload his pass to Scott Hill. Cutting back into the centre of the ruck, Scott Hill. TABUAI held on to him.
No penalty. Come on out here the 10. 4 tackles.
GOLDTHORPE, the playmaker, out on the blind side. Dummy tried to go through a gap. John Doyle closed that gap on him very quickly. Kick has come off North Queensland. It's going to be picked up immediately by Gavin Thompson. Kicked again by the Mariners. This is Luke Phillips coming across field from the right wing, right out to the left wing at the moment. Finds himself stopped by Anthony Brann.
What you'll see here from the Cowboys now is the dummy half will quickly dart, get some yardage, and the big men will hit. They're playing a lot better attacking football than the Mariners at the moment. The Mariners seem to be standing flat and seem not to be motivated. You would think they would be motivated, John, after playing the last 3 games and losing.
Ian Roberts taking the inside pass from Jason Deeth, and Roberts almost up to the halfway mark.
3 tackles.
Lomax. Another hit up by John Lomax.
No hands for
inside Mariners territory by a couple of metres. Now to Doyle. Shows it. Gives a short pass away to Paul Bowman. Had Mark Shipway going back on the inside. Couldn't get the pass to him. The last coming up again for North Queensland, away from Ferris. Ferris gives a long pass across field to Jones, standing out wide. He gives it to Dion Cope, and back inside to Kyle Warren. Warren going for the corner, loses it though as the cover defence of Tony Iro gets to him, puts him into touch, only 1 metre out from the try line.
Well, that was great work by Jason Ferris. You could see that he had the numbers on the right-hand side. We'll probably see this coming up now. He's going for the line. Great defence there too by the Mariners. So Tony Iro getting right across there and there gives the Mariners a chance to get the ball off the line. But great work by Jason Ferris. He saw that they had the numbers on the right-hand side and elected to throw a long pass rather than use the kick, John.
Thanks, David. Good talk.
So on the last, having gone into touch, becomes the changeover, and the Mariners with the ball, but only 10 metres out from their own line. Trailing by 6, North Queensland with that early try, converted by Luke Phillips. He converted his own try to lead 6-0.
John, we know Robbie McCormick got dropped, and now they've put young Richard SWAIN in there, and he is a good runner around the dummy half play. We haven't seen much of him. I'm sure that Graham Murray will expect to see some creativity around that dummy half area.
Good work by Brann to stand in the tackle and unload rack back to Richard SWAIN. SWAIN making a gain of 15 metres. Now can they get a roll on the Mariners? This is Robbie Ross. Ross trying to link up with his outside backs, but well spotted by North Queensland. The defence was there to meet him, and now the penalty. Ian Roberts not clearing the tackle player.
So your hands, man over top, just roll. Play on.
Now this...
David, give us 10.
This will give, you'll see that penalty happening here, holding the man down. Ian Roberts underneath there. This will give the Mariners every opportunity. They've got 7 plays, 6 tackles at the line. They'll walk towards the middle, and they'll probably shoot it back to the left-hand side to their strength.
Just relax, please.
2 balls on the field is why referee Brian Grant has blown time off. Now Brann plays the ball. GOLDTHORPE away to Troy Stone, to Miles. Troy Miles gets towards the 20-metre mark. He'll be tackled by Doyle. Plays the ball to ZISTI. ZISTI works it on the blind side. He's got Gavin Thompson on the outside of him. Has to take the tackle though of Bowman. He'll play the ball. Now spun across field. Ball given away to Troy Stone. Stone takes them on himself. Back it goes to Brann, who gives it away to Hill, who fires the pass out over the top. This will be the first try. John CARLAW goes in to score the first try for the Mariners. That might be just what they need. They've made so many mistakes so far, the Hunter Mariners. Maybe once they've got a try on the board, that will see their confidence start to zoom.
Well, that's exactly what we saw. They got a little bit of luck there with that penalty. They kicked for touch. They worked to the right-hand side of the post, and then they had the numbers on the left-hand side. Good passing there. Great anticipation there by number 21, which is... help me out there, John. Anyway, a great pass, and seeing the Mariners coming back into the game. Scotty Hill it was. He was the man.
Try again with Troy Stone doing well to stand and unload to Anthony Brann, and he also does well to give it away then to Scott Hill, and Hill with that cutout pass, that long pass out to John CARLAW to put him in the corner. So good work by the two big forwards, Stone and Brann, and then by the very talented 5'8" Scott Hill.
Yeah, great vision there by Hill, cutting two men out and getting it out outside, and of course the Mariners coming in for a much needed try, coming in just before the first half.
Nick ZISTI, some 8 metres in from touch, and the kick by Nick ZISTI waved away. Didn't miss by much. So North Queensland had their lead reduced to 2 points. North Queensland leading Hunter by 6 points to 4. Noel GOLDTHORPE will get set to restart this play, and what the Mariners would like to do now is get North Queensland pinned down well inside their own red zone and try and force an error to get them back possession. Scott Mahon taking the ball and then turning it away to the first runner, bringing it out almost to the 20-metre mark.
The Cowboys seem to be much organised in their set of six. A guy will quickly run from dummy half like we're seeing as Stevie Walters, and then you'll have a great big man running onto it, getting over that advantage line and getting great meterage up the field there. We see a penalty now. The Cowboys have got an opportunity. There's 12 minutes left to play. Opportunity for them to get into the Mariners' half.
Troy Miles giving away the penalty, just holding Jason Deeth down in that tackle. And Brian Grant very severe on players not immediately releasing the tackle player. So the tap taken just near halfway by the Cowboys, and John Lomax crosses the halfway mark. This is Peter Jones.
Talk 10, 2.
Walters, and the pass dropped by Jason FERRIS, quickly picked up by Iro, who gave it away to CARLAW. He was almost through, cut down at the last moment by Luke Phillips. Back it comes to Troy Miles. Miles 40 metres out from scoring. Lomax makes the tackle with Jones. Now to Neil PICCINELLI and away to Anthony Brann. Bounces away from John Doyle, held on to by Lomax. Ball to be played back. It goes to Richard SWAIN, then away to Hill. He gives his pass once more on to Troy Stone. Stone reaches the 20-metre mark before he's tackled. Now swung quickly back across field. It comes to Hill. Hill with the cutout pass to Nick ZISTI. ZISTI taken in a ball and all tackle by Mark SHIPWAY. Noel GOLDTHORPE once more. Ball gone to ground, picked up by the try scorer, John CARLAW, looking for try number 2, and he almost got through. 10 metres out from scoring, away from GOLDTHORPE. Now it comes away to Hill. They're only 5 metres out from the line. Referee, though, is going to call it up for the last tackle.
Well, they took the wrong option there. They should have put the ball up nice and high. The Cowboys were very much lined out on their left-hand side. GOLDTHORPE choosing not to kick, but throwing it to the right-hand side of the field. Nullified there, coming up with a great tackle with the Cowboys, and now they're working off their own line again.
Mark SHIPWAY makes a gain of 10 metres.
Thank you. 2.
Kyle Warren showing it to the right, then straightening up the attack before he was tackled by Iro.
30, out of there. 30.
Jones also showing it, looking for the runner coming off his hip. That was Luke Phillips. He couldn't get the pass to him. Steve Walters to FERRIS. Cuts out Lomax to pick up Doyle. Doyle gives it to BOWMAN. BOWMAN gets over the halfway mark. That's the 5th. Here's the last coming up now for North Queensland. Jason FERRIS sets himself once more for the kick.
There'll be a penalty here. You'll see there'll be a penalty unless the advantage is played on.
Keith Beauchamp tackled 10 up from his own line. Referee says play on.
Noel GOLDTHORPE knocked down there in the back.
Stand up and
CARLAW playing the ball to Robbie Ross. then to Anthony Brann, former grade rugby union player in Sydney, who's adapted pretty well in only his second season of rugby league. Paul Marquette, head down as is customary fashion, driving it forward. They're still 10 on their own side of halfway, the Mariners. Noel Goldthorpe waiting for it, getting around LOMAX, looking for a runner, got it to Robbie Ross, who did well to shoot his pass away to Hill. Scott Hill tackled just outside the 20. That was a desperation tackle by Luke Phillips. Quick play the ball to Marquette, and he gives it away to Robbie Ross. Ball's gone loose into the in-goal area. They all dive for it. Keith Beauchamp got his hand on the ball.
Are you happy about the grounding? Jack, I just want you to have a look and see whether he's grounded it.
Referee calls for the video replay.
I'm happy that it's Jack, just have a look at it.
Jack Danzy is the video referee. Brian Grant wanting to know whether in fact Keith Beauchamp has got this ball down correctly.
Clock stopped.
Well, while we're waiting for it, if they do score it, they count themselves lucky because he should have given that ball. They had two Mariners on one Cowboy there and chose to go the other way. There he is there.
That's okay, see? That's okay.
The foot.
Ball went backwards, no knock on, came off the foot. Beauchamp dives forward. That's a fair try.
Relax. That's fine.
Jack Danzy, the video referee,
That's fine. Let's get it up
will have
there.
looked at that replay and will be making his decision in a moment.
Jack. Tell the director. Can we get it up there? Jack, talk to me.
I think it's
Keith
a
Beauchamp,
play.
former Illawarra Steeler, now playing, of course, with the Hunter Mariners, and here comes the decision. Try it is. Try to Keith Beauchamp, second try to the Hunter Mariners, and so the home side are in front. The Mariners lead North Queensland by 8-6 with the kick to come.
Well, that'll make Graham Murray a very happy man. How do you explain it when there's only 8 minutes left in the first half, and most of the errors have been made by the Mariners in this first half? The Cowboys have played a pretty sort of structured, both in attack and defence. And now here we see it again, the ball going out left. Now he had extra men on the outside there, but he's chosen to come back inside. There, he had 2 men on his outside, went too far, lost the ball off his legs. Great try, but very lucky to get that try.
Yes, no knock on. For there to be a knock on, there has to be hand contact, and that didn't. The ball went backwards and then came off with the knees of Keith Beauchamp, and he was able to touch down. And here's the kick by Nick ZISTI. Good kick by ZISTI, and the Mariners lead North Queensland by 10 points to 6. Just over 8 minutes remaining until half-time, so a good comeback by the Mariners. They were down by 6 points to 0 and making a lot of mistakes, but 2 quick tries have them back in front. Once more, it's Noel Goldthorpe who restarts.
Tackle check. Roll away, Clay.
Scott Mahon decides to run himself out of dummy half. Well taken though by the marker Richard SWAIN.
Keep 10, keep talking. Keep talking. 3, check me.
Owen Cunningham to play the ball. Ian Roberts
4, out here.
stands in the tackle of Troy Miles. Steve Walters shows it, goes from dummy half.
5 tackles, no penalty.
Gain of 5 or 6 metres. His opposite
10 metres.
hooker Richard SWAIN is the tackle, and now back to Ferris, and on the last Jason Ferris kicks.
1-0. 0 tackle.
Robbie Ross on the kick return. This will be the 0 tackle. First tackle bringing a kick back.
Come on, discipline in. 0. 1, check me.
So that's tackle number 1. Just 30 metres out from their own line.
I'm sure Graham Murray won't want them to be playing C with the ball now. They're leading by 4 points. They want to keep working one off the ruck, like these big men, like Big Maddison hitting up the centre area, and then Noel Goldthorpe getting it right down in the red zone, Cowboys territory.
Neil Pinccinelli. Experienced player Neil Pinccinelli. Another player who spent many years with the Illawarra Steelers. Hill turning the pass back on the inside. Once more it's in the hands of Neil Pinccinelli, who gives it back to Goldthorpe, trying to probe his way through the middle of the ruck.
No penalty. 5 tackles. Check the offside.
Goldthorpe calling for it once more. On the last, he'll put the ball into the air. The breeze holding this ball up. Shipway goes for it. Knocked down. And the referee rules knocked on.
Just bring it over here, please, Steve. Wait for it.
Not a bad ploy there by Noel Goldthorpe. Putting the ball up high enough there. They are enough time to compete. Coming off the Mariners' hands, so try and get right on the spot there. It is the Cowboys' ball.
31's out of play. Now.
So North Queensland, 12 inside their own territory.
Thank you.
Kyle Warren hit in a heavy tackle by BRANN going underneath and Miles coming over the top.
Keep talking 10.
FERRIS
Don't like the 10
to TABUAI, grabbed by PICCINELLI.
Right across, watch the ball. Pull him off, 4 tackles.
Working the blind side through John Doyle. Well read by the defensive Nick ZISTI. To FERRIS once more on tackle number 5, electing to run it on the last. Jason FERRIS throws a pass which was touched, in fact, in flight by the Mariners. It's picked up by Dion. Cope is thrown to ground just outside the 20-metre mark of the Mariners. Played back and it goes to Luke Phillips. Phillips goes up the blind side, uses the little kick ahead. It'll be dived on in the in goal though by the Hunter Mariners. John CARLAW touches it down.
Well, I don't know if Tim Seans wanted Luke Phillips to do that. You'll see this, but you'll see a little chip over the top there by Luke Phillips, but the referee called first tackle, so they had 5 plays. Pretty silly error there by Luke Phillips.
Yes, I don't think Luke Phillips could have heard the call by
Timmy Seans there, absolutely probably frustrated. They had 5 plays, kicked the ball over the top there and gave it back to the Mariners, who were leading incidentally 10 points to 6.
I'm sure that Phillips couldn't have heard the call from Brian Grant that that ball in fact had been touched in play. It was John CARLAW who in fact touched the ball and gave the 6 tackle count back to North Queensland, but Phillips didn't hear the call, so a chance gone begging. They're just outside the 20-metre mark once more. This is Ian Roberts. Roberts runs into the clutches of Maddison, who'll knock him over.
Stand up, check it. 2.
From Deeth away to FERRIS. FERRIS shows it, now gives it on to Kyle Warren. Warren is grabbed ball and all by Brandon Iro.
Play 3.
To Deeth, out of dummy half. Working across field, slowed down by Maddison. Goldthorpe makes the tackle. John Doyle getting through, can't turn it back on the inside, he'll play the ball, only a few metres out from scoring, from Walters, across field to FERRIS, FERRIS using the kick, right across it goes, Luke Phillips can't get it, it'll be picked up again by North Queensland, out it comes again once more to Kyle Warren, Warren's over the line, referee signals, fair try, Kyle Warren.
Well, that's a great try by the Cowboys there. Jason FERRIS putting the ball up high enough. Again we see, you put the ball up high enough, that gives your side enough time to compete for the ball. And we'll see that great try there by the Cowboys, back in the game and a chance to take the lead.
Kyle Warren, the try scorer, injured himself slightly in scoring that try.
Now Jason FERRIS puts the ball up high enough so the Cowboys can get up there and compete with the Mariners winger, picks the ball up, flicks it out, wonderful try and over that line, fair try.
So the ball coming off Luke Phillips from the Cowboys. Here's the kick by Jason FERRIS.
Great kick, John.
It was a fine kick. Now Luke Phillips goes up for it, but he knocks it backwards. It was then picked up by Dion Cope, and Cope was able to get his pass quickly out to the backup of Kyle Warren. And Warren, who spent a couple of years in the lower grades with Manly Warringah a few seasons back before moving to Queensland country to Toowoomba, Kyle Warren scores the try. And Luke Phillips with the attempted conversion. Try and put North Queensland back in the lead just before the half-time break. Kicking with the breeze coming from behind him as he strikes this ball. But waved away, no goal, and so 10-all it is. Just under 2 minutes until the break.
We'll probably see 2 sets of 6 now, John. A set of 6 takes about 1 minute of play, so we've got 1.5 minutes left. They'll get the ball down there and defend very hard to the Mariners, get the ball back, and they'll have the chance to score last.
Now what the Mariners have to do is make sure that they put in a good set don't drop the ball, and then have a good kick on the end of that set of 6. Maddison just running on the fringe of the ruck, easily tackled by Ian Roberts. Goldthorpe away to Hill, who got it on to CARLAW, called Beauchamp back on the inside of him, couldn't get the pass to Beauchamp. It's in his hands now from dummy half. Beauchamp struggling towards the halfway mark. He's tackled 5 metres short. Once more to Maddison. Good hard run by Maddison. Gets it inside the Cowboys territory. Noel Goldthorpe away to Scott Hill. Hill uses the kick, putting it down the touchline. Will it go into touch? Eventually it does. Scott Mahon waiting for it, thinking, well, this ball has definitely got to go over the touchline, and for an eternity it seemed it wasn't going to go into touch, and Scott Mahon using the gloves tonight to help him with his handling.
We see the ball now rolling down. Scott Mahon with those gloves on, waiting for it to go out. Yes, it's out. That means with only 20 odd seconds to go that the Cowboys will have the feed and will play this set of 6 out going into half time at 10 all.
Scrum win to North Queensland. Dion Cope tackled 12 out from his own line. Owen Cunningham getting it outside the red zone. Half-time hooter sounding. Brian Grant hears that hooter and immediately says that'll do us. And so at the half-time break here at Breakers Stadium in Newcastle, Hunter Mariners and the North Queensland Cowboys locked at 10 points all.
Well, I think both coaches will go into the half-time sets pretty confused. The number of drop ball that both sides have forced, and given the opposition the opportunity, particularly Graham Murray, he'd have to be happy with the score at the moment, because the Mariners have not controlled the ball as well as the Cowboys.
The Hunter Mariners dressing room as the players file in for the half-time break. There's Graham Murray in the white shirt, just wiping some of the sweat from the brow.
I hope he doesn't swear. I'm sure he's going to say a few heated words. Look at this, he's about to get into it now. Players pretty tired after that first 40 minutes. Wondering if they can control the ball.
So at half-time here at Breakers Stadium, we've got an interesting ball game on our hands. The Hunter Mariners and the North Queensland Cowboys locked at 10 points all. We'll be back after this break.
The Superbikes starts 11:30 today, exclusively live on Fox Sports.
And anybody's ball game here in this round 4 Telstra Cup match from Breakers Stadium in Newcastle, with that beautiful moon over Newcastle tonight, the March moon. Who's it going to favour, Steve Mortimer? Will it be in favour of the Hunter Mariners or the North Queensland Cowboys?
There's the dressing room. Perhaps there's an omen from the moon to the Hunter Mariners. So I'm sure that the Mariners will not make the same mistakes as they did in the first half. And here we see the Cowboys coming out a bit more inventiveness around that little edge of the ruck there. I've got to say, John Lomax has been more involved than I have seen him over the last couple of games, John. But 10 all, what price a field goal, John McCoy?
Yes, exactly. It's a very tight game. Both sides probably fairly evenly matched, Steve Mortimer, and that 10 points all scoreline at half-time An indication of the relative merits of the side as Graham Murray there in the background just gives the last minute instructions to his side before they make their way out.
I'm sure he's saying, fellas, we need to hold that ball. Catches do win matches, and we can't afford to give the opposition that number of ball we gave in the first half. There's Ian Roberts. He's been pretty involved too. Both him and Lomax have really taken the ball up.
Well, in fact, Tim Sheens, as you commented in our preview to the game, Steve Mortimer, said to his experienced players during the week, you've got to perform or else. Do you think they are performing for him?
Well, I think they're giving it their best shot. Very interesting this half coming up, John, is that the Adelaide Rams are always short on the edge of the ruck. So I'm sure that Tim Sheens will be saying to Jason Ferris, hey, have a look out there and use your big centres out there and use the likes of Luke Phillips to finish off the plays.
So the second half to get underway. Brian Grant, the referee for tonight. Luke Phillips to put the ball into play for the start of the second half. So 10 all it is at the half-time break between the Mariners looking for their first win of the season and the North Queensland Cowboys who are striving for win number 2. Neil PICCINELLI driven back, looking for someone to come in and help him, now eventually put to ground. So they're back just to their own 20-metre mark. Paul Marquette to play it. This is Troy Stone. TABUAI was the tackler going in underneath to bring him to ground. Anthony Brann. 5 short of halfway. And so on the last, Noel Goldthorpe to put the kick downfield, and as he does so, Murray Hurst, the assistant coach and reserve grade coach as well for the North Queensland Cowboys, is on the sidelines.
Murray, Steve Mortimer here. Great start in the first part of the half, but you slackened off after that.
Yeah, Steve, I guess it could be attributed to a bit of the fact that we have a few older legs out there, but we're quite happy with our 15 out of 20 completions in the first half, and if we can emulate that, I think we'll be right in this game, because I really think the coach thinks we're the better team in the first half.
I know that Tim Sheens gave a strong talk of the senior players. You don't have a mortgage on your spots. Is he happy with the likes of Roberts and Johnny Lomax?
Well, certainly tonight, I'd have to say yes. You know, we had a bit of an off night last week, but at this stage tonight, you know, we're at about the 43rd minute of the game. He's quite happy with them, and we've interchanged both of them, so they're going quite well.
One more quick question. Stevie Wallace around the dummy half play. Are you looking for him to run more, be a bit more creative in the second half?
Yeah, you'd have to say that. With Steve, he's a bit more creative than Jason at the moment. Jason's the one that sneaks the yards, but Steve is going to be having to lead in that area. Yes, Steve?
Thanks, Murray. Murray Hurst, the reserve grade coach, assistant first grade coach to Tim Sheens of the North Queensland Cowboys. Now here's a vital penalty which gives Nick ZISTI the chance to shoot for goal. He's back 35 metres and almost right in front. Reefing the ball out, pulling the ball out in the tackle was the referee by Brian Grant, and it came late in the tackle count as well. So let's have a look at the reason for this penalty. John Lomax just knocking the ball out. There was 2 in the tackle. Of course, you can knock the ball out when it's 1-on-1, but there was 1 man underneath, Lomax over the top. The reason for the fair penalty, which gives Nick ZISTI the chance to put the Mariners back in front by 2. Takes his time about it, Nick ZISTI, but hasn't struck it well. Just seemed to come off the side of the boot and slewed away to the left-hand side of the upright. No goal, Nick ZISTI, so it remains at 10 points all. It did go dead. That means it'll be a dropout from the 20-metre mark to restart. And as that dropout is taken by North Queensland, the media manager for the Hunter Mariners, and certainly one of the great assistants that Graham Murray has, former Queensland State of Origin star Michael Hagan, is on the sideline.
Michael Hagan, Steve Mortimer here. A very tentative start in that first half.
Yeah, I think so. Although I think we probably finished the stronger in the last 15, although we conceded that try right in half time. And I think if we can control the football, which we've done pretty well in the first half, I think we can go on and win the football game.
You did drop a lot of ball, but also was it your forwards standing too flat in attack?
Yeah, possibly, although Graham Murray does encourage our players to offload as much as they can, and obviously going to come up with a few mistakes, but I think they could probably work a little bit together around the ruck, and you know, I think we're quite happy to be in the ball game at 10 all.
Okay, share with us, everyone here, what has Graham Murray said to turn this game around for the Mariners to get their first victory here at home?
Well, basically he's told them to try and stop North Queensland's offloads in, obviously Ian Roberts and Walters and co, and obviously for us to support the football and try and put some football together. And I think, you know, Graham should be congratulated for that, because he does encourage his blokes to play football.
Thanks, Michael. Michael Hagan from the Hunter Mariners, as John Lomax gives away another penalty, and this was for the same reason, knocking the ball out, getting a hand in the tackle and knocking the ball out, and referee Brian Grant has cautioned him about it. He's given 2 penalties away in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, and now the chance for the Mariners to attack. They're 30 metres out from the North Queensland line. Tony Iro goes up into dummy half, gives it away to Anthony Brand, trying to struggle free of the tackle of Ian Roberts. Call for by Goldthorpe at first receiver. Troy Stone running wide, now gives it back to John CARLAW, who scored a try in the first half. CARLAW can't get away from Phillips.
All the Mariners have to do here, John, is to hold the ball. They've got 2 options: to put the ball up high, get a chance to get it back, or go for a field goal.
Up the blind side goes Richard Swain. He almost got through. It was John Lomax's despairing tackle that got him. Perhaps Lomax realising that he's one of the reasons that the Mariners are on the attack, and he's got to defend grimly. Robbie Ross put the ground. And the last tackle, it was the changeover, and so North Queensland's defence holds, and they'll play it 10 out from their own line.
Well, that was a pretty dumb play there. They had the opportunity to either put the ball up or go for a field goal. They backed themselves, and of course the Cowboys have come up with it. At least they could put the ball up. They had a chance of getting the ball back, John.
Scotty Mahon, wearing those gloves tonight, has put the ground. Scott Mahon, in fact, is going to be one of our guests on Super Sunday, hosted by Cameron Williams. Scott Mahon, another of our guests on Super Sunday this week, will be the Broncos' injured star, Anthony Mundine. So North Queensland, 8 metres inside their own territory. Here's the kick out of dummy half by Steve Walters. Driving it downfield for Robbie Ross. Traps the ball with his feet. Good chase, though, by the Cowboys. They came down in one line to get Robbie Ross, realising, of course, what a dangerous player Robbie Ross can be on ball returns. Keith Beauchamp going infield from dummy half, getting away from the touchline. And again from dummy half goes the other winger, Gavin THOMPSON. Goldthorpe cuts out Brand, gives it away to Warrow, turns it back to Goldthorpe. Now it's in the hands of Anthony Brand. Brand is 10 metres inside North Queensland. To Swain, then to Goldthorpe. Turned infield, it goes to Troy Stone. Tackle made by Lomax. Scott Hill, away to Wyra, gave a pass to Marquette. The pass could have drifted forward, then he was taken in a fairly high tackle, taken by Paul BOWMAN. The tackle was high. I thought at first that the pass may have been slightly forward.
I tried to play advantage there. Your tackle was high. I don't want him up there. I want you to make the effort to keep him down. The tackle, the pass at this stage is immaterial. The high tackle's what I'm needing.
Well, there you have it. The Cowboys feeling the pass was forward. Let's have a look at this pass again from Iron. It was forward, no doubt, but then the referee ruled on the high tackle by Paul BOWMAN, and that's the reason for the penalty to the Mariners, and could be a vital penalty because it allows the Mariners to attack, and they're only 10 metres out from the North Queensland line. Goldthorpe turning it inside to Paul Marquette.
Goldthorpe getting a lot more involved, getting his big men running off him, John. Switching the side, each side of the ruck as well.
Switching it back again to Iro. Iro trying to stand in the tackle. He was on his knees. He could have still unloaded the pass, but no one coming off him. Back to Swain, then away to Goldthorpe once more. Goldthorpe is put to ground in the tackle of opposite halfback Jason FERRIS. Swain unloads his pass. This is Troy Stone. Stone weaving under tackles, gets it back to Hill, then away to Neil PICCINELLI. PICCINELLI going for the line. Has he got it down? That looks a fair try. He's got the ball over the back of his head. It looked ungainly, but it's been effective. Neil PICCINELLI scores what could be a vital try in this game, and it came after that ruling by the referee where he allowed a forward pass. Didn't rule on the forward pass, he ruled on a high tackle by Paul BOWMAN and gave a vital penalty to the Hunter Mariners. That allowed them to attack, and the attackers finished with Neil PICCINELLI scoring the try.
Yes, we see it here. They had the option to kick for goal, but they said no. Well, we reckon we can score from here. Great pass, and then Noel Thorpe's been completely involved. Great dummy there off the left, step off the left foot. Piccinelli going there. Will he get there? Turns on his back, turns over and gets that ball down. Does he get it down? He's waiting for it to get it down. Yes, try time.
Well, I tell you what, if he ever gives up football, he's got a job in the circus as the Indian rubber man.
It took 30 seconds. Here it is again, looking from the side here. A great little ball there, stepping off the left. Got a good left foot jink there. Nice tackle there, trying to get him down before that line. Clever thought. Turns over on his back. If he, on his front, it would be a dead ball. And there it is. We can't see it from there, but we did see it from the back angle. A fair try.
So the contortionist, Neil Piccinelli, scores the try, not converted, and so the Mariners lead by 14 points to 10 over the Cowboys 10 minutes into the second half.
John, it's been a great first 10-minute start for the Mariners. They've held the ball, and Noel Goldthorpe is getting his big men coming off him each side of the ruck. They are controlling the ball. They control the ball. They're a chance of winning this game.
So North Queensland to bring it back from their own line. John Lomax giving away a couple of penalties in the second half. He has to make up for that now for Coach Tim Sheens with some hard work. This is Kyle Warren. Good tackle on Warren by Troy Stone. Peter Jones. Underneath was Richard SWAIN with a good tackle on Jones. Steve Walters with a customary dart out of dummy half, and then it got it back to Owen Cunningham. Strong player, Owen Cunningham. Probably one of the unsung heroes in Manly's pack over the last few years, a pack that's had so many stars. But he is a very, very strong and talented player, Cunningham. Well taken by big Anthony Brand, bringing that ball back for the Hunter Mariners.
Well, that was the fifth and last there for the Cowboys. It was a shocking kick. The Mariners putting them under pressure. Now it gives the Mariners a great chance for attacking. Only 20 metres out from the Cowboys line.
Nick ZISTI tackled up on the 20-metre mark. In the hands now of Hill. Crossfield to Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe gives it to big Anthony Brand. Getting out wide, and he's a handful to put over, particularly when he gets a hit of steam up. Back to Iro. Iro gives a pass, which was taken by Robbie Ross. Flicked back well by Anthony Brand. Gee, did well to get that. Now back across field to Troy Stone. Stone has ZISTI on the outside of him. Can't get the pass to ZISTI. Held up in the North Queensland tackle. 15 metres out from the line. This is Neil Piccinelli across field to Brand once more. Then given over the top by Hill. He got it away to Gavin Thompson, and Thompson will score. Good try, Gavin Thompson, getting the ball back in the corner to score. But the fella that I have to give a rep to is big Anthony Brand. Former rugby union player, played district rugby union in Sydney, only transferred over to rugby league in recent seasons, but shows for a big man some terrific skills as well shown in this try.
Well, Tim Sheens won't be happy. This try came from the result of the Cowboys not clearing it. Here we see the Cowboys now scoring this try from a bad mistake by the Cowboys, not getting it down there. Great ball out there to the Mariners. Winger there, looks inside, puts it down, no one in front of him. They had the numbers. Well done to the Mariners.
So here's the try again. This is Anthony Brand. He'd done good lead-up work before that, but standing and unloading, getting the runners coming around him, eventually out wide to Gavin Thompson, and Thompson in to score a try in the corner. That kicks the Hunter Mariners away to an 8-point lead. 18 points to 10 it is, and Nick ZISTI with this attempted conversion, just a couple of metres in from touch. He's on the eastern side, so the breeze, what breeze there is, will be behind him, and that breeze since half-time just seems to have died away somewhat. It was quite strong early in the first half, but has certainly died down in the last few minutes. Here comes the kick by Nick ZISTI, and the crowd like it. Important 2 points for the Hunter Mariners. Gavin Thompson's try in the corner converted by Nick ZISTI, and the Mariners get away to a 20 points to 10 lead over the North Queensland Cowboys.
And under the new rules, they have the kick-off there, so they'll get the ball right down in the Cowboys' territory. Now the Cowboys will have 7 plays. I wonder this time, will they get the ball down towards the Mariners' end? I'm sure Tim Sheens will want them to.
So the Mariners, now with their tails in the air, and they haven't really been in that position much during this season. It's been a good start to the second half, as North Queensland tackle 30 up from their own line. TABUAI plays the ball. Ian Roberts ran into a good tackle by Paul Marquette. Did well though, Roberts, to get it back to Steve Walters.
No hands, 3. Wait for it. Inside me, inside me. Thank you.
Jason Ferris. Oof. Pass being put to ground. Player Dion Cope just having a little look, I think, at the tackler coming through to knock him over instead of the ball coming to him from Jason Ferris. So the chance once more for the Mariners to attack. Keith Beauchamp. Beauchamp getting through. No support with him. Beauchamp gets almost up to the 20-metre mark. A quick play the ball to Swain. Call for by Goldthorpe. Then away to Waro. Big Tony Iro trying to bust through the tackle of Ferris. He's only 12 metres out from scoring, and Goldthorpe races in to be the dummy half to PICCINELLI. Dummies to the left-hand side. Goes himself back towards the right. Now taken ball and all by Lomax and Walters. 10 out in centre field to Goldthorpe once more. Goldthorpe dummies, runs himself. Noel Goldthorpe, and is held on to only a couple of metres out. From dummy half they go. Can they get the ball down? The referee says they certainly can. Got the ball down, and I think the player that was in underneath all that was Nick ZISTI.
Well, a great try there by the Hunter Mariners. Nick ZISTI. Really, that try came about by Noel Goldthorpe getting up and playing that ball quickly after a lovely dart, but it comes back again to a mistake. Here we see the Mariners on the attack here. Some great passing. There's Goldthorpe involved again. Feigns, beats the man, almost to the try line. Great tackle there, but watch this. He gets up, he plays the ball quickly, and dummy half next is no one in front of him. Bang, try time. Get over that line. Great work there by Noel Goldthorpe.
Nick ZISTI gets the ball down for the try. And so what a change has come over this game. After being 10 points all at half-time, it's now 24-10 in favour of the Mariners. Nick ZISTI, strong player Nick ZISTI, formerly of course with St George. And ZISTI pushing his way through from dummy half after the good lead-up work by Noel Goldthorpe. And now ZISTI with the chance to convert his own try. Much easier one than the one he just converted from the touch. Good kick. So 26 points to 10. Is this the same game that we had only a couple of minutes ago, Steve Mortimer?
What was in that magic water that Graham Murray gave him, or was it through his magic talk? But just having a look at those last 2 tries that the Hunter Mariners have scored have come from mistakes by the Cowboys. Particularly the last one, they dropped the ball, they've missed 6 tackles, and they've forced about 3-4 drop balls in the second half.
So the second half, which for the Cowboys has been pretty much just all receiving kickoffs. So they bring it just outside their own 20, North Queensland. Scott Mahon running into a hefty tackle by Troy Miles. Doyle away to TABUAI. TABUAI stood in the tackle of ZISTI, got it back to Doyle. He had to hurdle Nick ZISTI. Now comes back behind TABUAI. Defence wasn't impeded, but they did lose ground as he was put over eventually by ZISTI. Now back to Lomax and on to Roberts. Roberts held by Stone, got it back to Ferris, who got his pass back over the top once more to Dion Cope, who turned it back on the inside to Scott Mahon. Looking for runners coming off him, no one there.
Just looking at the Cowboys throwing the ball around here, they're going to play up some catch-up football, so there'll be probably a few errors there. If they hold their head, the Mariners will have this ball, and they do. And a great opportunity now inside the Cowboys.
On the last tackle and the changeover. And so once more the Mariners have the chance to attack only 30 metres out from the North Queensland line. Tim Maddison pushing his way ahead, making another 3 or 4 metres as he pushed Ian Roberts back. Now back to Hill. Scott Hill fires his pass. John CARLAW put over. Brought back infield. Given infield by Robbie Ross, back to Goldthorpe. Then it came away through PICCINELLI, back to Ross. Then it goes to Maddison. Big Tim Maddison goes for the line himself and got it down, and isn't he happy about that? Tim Maddison, who's one of the workhorses in this Hunter Mariners lineup, and oh, look at the smile on the face. Doesn't get to score many tries, Tim Maddison. He lets everybody know that he's very happy when he does get to score one.
And he's had a great workhorse game. He's hung in there all the time, Tim Maddison. Probably the better of all the Mariners forwards there. Congratulations, a great try. Sheer determination. Again, put that down. Here we see it now. Out to
Neil PICCINELLI.
Then
away to Robbie Ross.
Back inside. Noel Goldthorpe. He's been in everything this second half. absolutely been in absolutely everything. There he is, a nice dummy for a big front row forward. Will he get over that line? A great try.
Good on you, Tim Maddison. You love to see big front rowers scoring tries.
It's great to see the Mariners changing direction and attack there. Inside, Noel, Goldthorpe and PICCINELLI have come in their own this second half. And of course, dummy, we see him score the try. A lovely try, but it comes back to the Cowboys now playing catch-up. Catch-up football, 3 mistakes, 3 tries, because the Mariners have held onto the ball.
So Nick ZISTI with yet another conversion, 10 metres in from touch. Struck it well. Touch judges like it. The crowd love it. It's 42-10. I tell you the thing about that try of Tim Maddison, what he will talk about is the dummy he threw. Just to the left-hand side, the dummy sucked the ball in and away he went.
And in many years' time he was saying he ran 80 metres the length of the field to score that try.
And dummy passed every one of the Cowboy players as well. Not just one dummy, beat them all. Good on you, Tim Maddison. Fine try. Good work in that try too, though, by that little man, Noel Goldthorpe, and Neil PICCINELLI, just showing their experience, changing the point of the attack, Steve Mortimer.
Neil PICCINELLI is a wonderful player with the ball, and also he can run the ball, but Noel Goldthorpe, he's directing his troops around the field now. First half it was, the second half, much involved, getting his big men running off him and changing to the edge of the ruck.
Well, a dynamic start to the second half, which is just 20 minutes old, but in that time, the Hunter Mariners have been able to put on 22 points.
Really has been a tale of 2 halves.
Ian Roberts.
4 tackles, no hands. 4 tackles, stand up. Come with me. 4 tackles.
This is Doyle. Now with TABUAI.
5.
5th tackle. Now will they get the ball down the other end?
Haven't been down there much. This is Jason Deeth running it on the last. Back to TABUAI, then to Steve Walters in desperation. Has to get a kick away. Taken by Robbie Ross under no pressure. And did well, Robbie Ross, to get a pass away to Keith Beauchamp. Beauchamp cutting back infield. 10 short of halfway is where he'll play the ball. John CARLAW scored a try in the first half, goes infield a few metres, plays it back to Goldthorpe, and he's able to give his pass away to Troy Miles.
Stand away, stand away. 2.
Troy Stone, another one of the workhorses, did well to get it back to Richard SWAIN.
3, next line. Come on, John.
Just seeing John, the Mariners don't have to do anything fancy. They're leading. There's 20 minutes to go. There's still a bit of football left in this game.
Good pass out wide to CARLAW. CARLAW's got Beauchamp on the outside of him. He won't lead Beauchamp. He stepped around Reggie CRESSBROOK with ease and goes in to score. Try number 2, John CARLAW. Oh, it's become a triathlon for the Hunter Mariners in the second half. John CARLAW goes in to score, and that takes them away to a lead of 36-10 with a kick to come.
Well, the Cowboys boys, they didn't get the ball down the other end of the field, put it themselves under pressure. Stevie Walters had to get the ball down. The Mariners come up with the ball again, hitting the ball up hard. They shoot it to the left-hand side of the field. You'll see that it's coming up, and a great long pass to
Noel Goldthorpe
again,
getting that pass out wide. Lovely work out to John CARLAW. Beat Reggie CRESSBROOK and goes in to score.
And the great thing you'll see about this try too is John CARLAW positioning himself for that long pass, straightening up the attack.
And Nick ZISTI getting plenty of kicking practice in this second half. Here's the kick by ZISTI again. It looks good. 38 points to 10 it is. Let's look again at this try of John CARLAW's.
They're holding the ball so well.
Scott Hill does well to get that pass to CARLAW. CARLAW just coming back in on the angle.
Yes, straightening it right up there. They really are protecting the ball, holding the ball well. If you have a look at it, no handling errors in this second half. Contrast to the first 2 minutes of the first half, they had 4. So there's the story, John McCoy.
Well, I can't believe the change that's come over this game. To think at half-time it was 10 all. We've still got just under 17 minutes remaining, and it's 38-10. So John LOMAX for the Cowboys. And this is Bert TABUAI. Still 5 on his own side of halfway, loses the ball.
Just walk away. Up there.
Brian Grant giving the penalty against the tacklers. Interfering in the play the ball.
All the Cowboys can do with 16 minutes to go is play a little bit of football, get out there and enjoy themselves, and perhaps Tim Sheen's bring on some new blood and get the feel. There he is there. Probably absolutely disgusted with the second half. First half was pretty good, but they dropped too much ball and gave the Mariners too much opportunity in that second half.
Yes, he doesn't look particularly happy, Tim Sheens. I think it's going to be a long flight home to Townsville somehow. I think the players will be making sure they don't get the seat next to Tim.
And injuries when you lose, they hurt that much more, John.
John Doyle on the 20-metre mark of the Mariners. Played to Death, then away to Ferris. Jason Ferris holds the pass up and gives it then to Owen Cunningham. Well read though by the defence. Troy Miles came in to get him. Jason Death turning his pass back to on the inside to Martin Locke. Now to Ferris.
Over this side on the line.
5 gone for North Queensland. Lomax 5 metres out from the line. Back to Steve Walters, rolls it into the in goal. Robbie Rosso does well to pick up that rolling ball and bring it back into the field of play.
One stand, no hands.
Gavin Thompson getting almost out to his own 20-metre mark. And very early in the tackle count, they elect to spin it wide. They're playing with so much confidence now, the Mariners. Infield goes Keith Beacham. Loses the ball in the tackle. Eventually picked up by Richard SWAIN, but it had been knocked on by Keith Beacham. North Queensland scrum feed 30 metres out from the Mariners line.
Around the shoulders. Get them all the way. I'm out of that place, man.
Well, I wonder what Tim Sheens is thinking.
Pack it down.
Really contrasted 2 halves for the Cowboys. They've dropped so much ball. To the Mariners' credit, they've kept the ball. They've held the ball.
I would like to think what Tim Sheens is thinking, actually, Steve.
I wouldn't like to be in that same
I don't think we could say it being a family show. So North Queensland 25 out from the line. Martin Locke.
I'd like to be his wife.
To Death. Then away to Ferris, gives his pass to Kyle Warren.
Talk to you, mate. Hey, talk to you, mate.
Steve Walters. You can hear the defence calling out his name. Walters as he got it back to CRESSBROOK, and then it went away through Jason Death. Picked up by Mark Shipway.
4 tackles, stand up.
Shipway eventually put to ground by Neil Piccinelli.
Gotta watch the ball.
Steve Walters runs from dummy half, gives his pass back to Death, then it goes away to Ferris. Ferris has Cunningham with him, couldn't get the pass on the outside to Cunningham.
They've got to put the ball up.
Going to run it on the last, back it goes to John Doyle. Doyle will put the ball in the air. Loose on the ground, eventually picked up by Nick ZISTI. ZISTI trying to bust away from the defence. He was caught eventually though and put to ground in the tackle of CRESSBROOK. Graham Murray.
You're thinking we'd be happy. He's probably still thinking about that first half. But they really have improved in that second half. They've held the ball, and even this Maddison fellow, he's just played so well, taking the ball up.
So North Queensland getting the ball back. Jason Ferris losing it.
Both teams getting tired.
No advantage.
Knocked on both ways, rules Brian Grant. No advantage.
Both teams getting tired here. Jason Ferris picking that ball up, dropping it. Should have caught the ball. It was a regulation catch. Heads down.
Doyle. Taken ball and all by Nick ZISTI. Scott Mahon, his pass to Martin Locke. Ferris going back to the blind side, then calling the runner back on the inside. Lomax plays it. Doyle throws the pass to nobody, in behind Ian Roberts, eventually picked up by Luke Phillips coming back from the wing. Phillips driven back a couple of metres, and the result of that is they lose about 20 metres in total. Roberts once more, getting it back to Luke Phillips. All he can see, though, is blue and gold jerseys around him.
5 tackles.
Walters on the last. Called on for the kick. Robbie Ross waits for it. Oh, well taken, Robbie Ross. Give the Mariners their due, though. They gave him some protection, Robbie Ross, to allow him then to get into the air and take that ball well. He didn't have to take his eyes off the ball, didn't have to worry about the chasers coming after him.
You'll see Robbie Ross catching the ball here, and also the Mariners. Full marks to the Mariners. Here he, Robbie Ross, they protect him, see there. Well done, well protected there. Robbie Ross taking the ball, and what a great game he's had, John.
Yeah, he has had a fine game, Robbie Ross. Excellent player. As has this fella had a fine game. The last try scorer, Tim Maddison. Neil PICCINELLI giving the pass back across field. It comes once more to that man, Robbie Ross. Ross busting through tackles. Eventually held on to by John Doyle. Last coming up now for the Mariners. Goldthorpe uses the little kick, putting it down into the corner, and will go into touch 5 short of the try line.
Well, they can call the tune now, can't they? Noel Goldthorpe is coming on his own this second half. There he is, kicking down low and hard, putting the ball into touch. Now what this is going to do, it's going to waste a bit more time. It's going to give his Mariners, particularly his forwards, a chance to get their breath back. With only just 10 minutes to go, they're well in control, John.
The scrum is packed 10 metres out from the line, and of course under Super League rules, 20 metres in from touch.
It's amazing how well the defence picks up after a team scores a few tries. Their defence has been absolutely excellent, putting them down, although we see this tackle there.
Luke Phillips just losing his footing as he ran into the clutches of Troy Stone. Owen Cunningham.
Get out of there, come on. Go, Chase.
Roberts getting a pass out to Reggie CRESSBROOK.
No tension. 4, stand away, no hands. 4.
FERRIS to LOMAX, loses the ball though. As he was knocked over, he was put to ground in the good tackle of Mike Doreen, who's just come off the reserves bench. Here's FERRIS giving the pass to LOMAX. It was low down to him, but a good front-on tackle by Mike Doreen.
It was under pressure too. He forced the pass there. It wasn't a good pass. He should have caught it, but there was a Mariners there ready to nail him. So really, FERRIS did put LOMAX under unnecessary pressure.
Good attacking opportunity once more for the Mariners. They're 10 metres inside North Queensland territory in centre field. They elect to bring it round to the open side for the first tackle. Mike Doreen plays it. Now they work one down the short side. This is Troy Miles. And that allows them the full field across to the right-hand side to attack if they want to. Troy Stone.
Stand up.
Richard SWAIN darting away from dummy half. Now Robbie Ross goes into dummy half. Call for by Noel Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe runs it to the line, able just to shoot a short pass away. Given wide once more to Mike Doreen. Doreen driven back though in the tackle of Ian Roberts.
Stay square. 5 tackles.
Scott Hill, quick hands. Away it goes to Troy Stone. Stone uses the kick. Taken by North Queensland. Luke Phillips has it. 12 out from his own line. Mark Shipway.
Wait.
FERRIS to Doyle. John Doyle, seeing a half gap, thought he was able to get through it. Doreen closed the gap on him quickly though. Short pass given away by Steve Walters on to Peter Jones. Martin Locke.
With the Mariners right in front, so far in front, they should really just practice their defence now, protect how to protect the lead, and make Graham Murray even happier by protecting the lead by great defence.
Keith Beauchamp on the kick return. This is a zero tackle, and there's the advantage of the zero tackle rule. He's able to run that 20 metres back, and the tackle count is only starting now. and they've got it back to halfway. It's a good rule that's been introduced by Super League. It does give so many attacking options to sides that have good kick returners.
It is a great rule. It's interesting to see the Mariners with about 6 minutes ago how deep they're getting. They're very much enthusiastic.
Troy Stone, good busting run by Stone. He's had another solid game tonight for the Mariners. Now in the hands of Goldthorpe, who gives it away to Maddison. Tried to give a short pass to Anthony Hill, but the moment Hill got the ball, he was knocked over. And in fact, hurt in the tackle.
Take time. Yeah, okay, just relax, man.
Scott Hill just getting this pass. Maddison, the pass went behind Hill, so he obviously was looking at first for the ball, didn't see the defender coming in to knock him over.
He's okay.
Scotty Hill gets to his feet.
He's had a pretty good game, Scotty Hill.
Yeah, he has. He is a good young player, Scott Hill.
Right. Okay, man.
Only 19 years of age, Scott Hill. Came from Forster Turncurry, but a very big future in front of him. Scrum to be refed with the ball having gone right through the tunnel. Picked up at the base of the scrum by Owen Cunningham. This is Shipway with it. Five short of halfway. Ferris. His pass away to Jones. Peter Jones busting tackles. Gets to Robbie Ross. Oh, good tackle, Robbie Ross. Great ball and all tackle. He's a big man, Jones, and Robbie Ross did well to go up and smother that ball completely.
Get away.
Kyle Warren runs into another solid tackle by Paul Marquette. Troy Miles tapping Paul Marquette on the back to say, good hit by Marquette.
Play on, play on, play on. Come back, you know.
Jones once more. 12 metres out from the line. Jason Ferris loses it. Looking to where he wanted to throw the pass or where he wanted to run to, and disgusted that he's lost the ball, Jason Ferris. Pass came to him, one that he should have got. Into the arms, then onto the chest. Bounces loose. That gives the forwards, at least from both sides, a breather as Noel Goldthorpe comes across to feed this scrum.
Pack together. Roll it in, Noel. Put in. Yep.
So Hill giving his pass to CARLAW. Infield goes Keith Beecham. Miles handing it back to Brann. Anthony Brann takes a couple to get him. Ian Robertson, Steve Walters.
Nobody had a hand on him. That's the difference. Nobody had a hand on him. No, that is the difference. Not one person had a hand on him. Happy to look at the video with you there, but not one person had a hand there.
And Anthony Brann
come to listen.
Says it all what he thinks of himself for having dropped it.
Sorry, men, there's no ball. You can either stand up or just hold the weight. Come on, ball, mate. It's coming very close.
And the referee, Brian Grant, saying no one had a hand on him. In fact, he's probably lucky he wasn't penalised for not playing that ball with his foot.
It's going to be fed now. Thank you, man. Play on.
So picked up once more at the base of the scrum by North Queensland. This time by Peter Jones.
Two, stand up, stand up. Two.
Jason Deeth put the ground in the tackle of Brann. Owen Cunningham, and Brann goes in to make another tackle. This is Doyle. John Doyle showing it to the left-hand side.
2 men in, take it out.
Penalty. 2 men into the tackle, so you can't reef the ball away. So North Queensland take the tap. 10 metres out from the line. Martin Locke to play the ball. Infield from Scott Mahon, not a good pass. Picked up well though by Big Peter Jones, and does well to unload back to Reggie CRESSBROOK. Then it goes away to Cunningham. Cunningham got his pass, it's gone loose. Ian Roberts can't get it. Neither could Shipway. Dived on by the Hunter Mariners. Coming up with it is Scott Hill. CARLAW, the two-try hero tonight for the Mariners.
One, check 10. One.
Keith Beecham.
Two, roll away. Play it, stand up. Three there, Steve.
25 out from their own line. Ball played back.
Play on.
Gone behind Anthony Brann. Can do nothing but simply go back and flop on the ball.
4 tackles. 5 tackles over here.
5 tackles gone. As SWAIN plays the ball on the last, Noel Goldthorpe runs it down the blind side and makes probably his first mistake of the night, Noel Goldthorpe. He's had an excellent game in leading the Mariners around the park, but this time putting the ball into touch on the full. It was on the last, and so it's a changeover. And the Cowboys, last throw of the dice, just trying to perhaps get back some of the pride that they lost early in the second half and finish the game on a good note. Steve Walters showing it, giving the long ball to Ian Roberts, who switches it back on the inside to Dion Cope. Well tackled though, Noel Goldthorpe. From FERRIS, away to Doyle. John Doyle puts the ball on the deck, quickly picked up. It comes to Gavin THOMPSON. THOMPSON is put over. That will be the last tackle of the game. Referee Brian Grant signals full time, and the Hunter Mariners, well done to Graham Murray and the Hunter Mariners, their first win of the season. It looked at the start of the first half that they were going to struggle somewhat, but then they got back to 10-all at half-time, and the first 20 minutes of the second half they absolutely blew the North Queensland Cowboys away, and the Mariners run out big winners by 38 points to 10. The Hunter Mariners 38, defeating the North Queensland Cowboys 10. And it's probably justice for the Hunter Mariners that they do get a win on the board, because they've suffered 3 very narrow defeats by 2 points, then by 4 points, and then again by 2 points last week by the Adelaide Rams. They're probably thinking to themselves, when is fortune going to turn our way and Lady Luck be on our side for a change? Well, it was tonight. Not that they probably needed much luck the way they played in the second half. They played particularly well, put some excellent tries on the board, and they've run out big winners by 38 points to 10, and that will do just so much for their confidence. Winners are grinners, so they say. Look at the grins on the faces of the Hunter.